Hi YouTube, it's me, the Shy Pianist, or you may know me as Donald of Zephyr Wargames, bring you an updated build on my deck 61 Kotori, who is Witchcrafters, for you don't know. So we did get our new card, Witchcrafter Golem Aruru. Admittedly, it's only just the one new card, but yeah, here's what I've got so far for the deck. First things first, yes, the card sleeves are standard size, as with pretty much all of my other card sleeves. And yes, my decks are generally based for fun, but you know, you can just generally take it as a deck core or whatever, and just build upon it. And yeah, let's just get straight to it. So with the new Witchcrafter Aruru, I play 2 Witchcrafter Golem. For you guys who don't know her effect is when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a spellcaster, monster, or monsters you control, or targets it for an attack. Quick effect: you can target one card in your opponent controls or one Witchcrafter spell in your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, return that targeted card to the hand. You can only use this effect of Witchcrafter Golem Aruru once per turn. And once per turn, during your opponent's standby phase, return this card to the hand. So yeah, I would play 2, if not 3. Just need a bit of testing really. You generally want to see this because with Witchcrafters, you can just recycle back the spells that you already used, because the spells themselves, if you use them, you can't add them back in the end phase. So Aruru allows you to bypass that effectively in a way. But do note, you know, obviously you have to meet the certain condition in order to trigger it. But yeah, or you can special summon this out with the lower level Witchcrafter monsters. So making it a nice 28 beat stick, and then during your opponent's standby phase, you know, you just return back to hand, giving you that free access anyway. So you can play 2. I would definitely play 2. I still haven't picked up my second copy, but yeah, definitely 2. If not, you can try playing 3. So that's the new card. And back to the other stuff, we have the Madam Witchcrafter Madam Verd, the Smug Lolly, the Smug Mistress. You all know her. Obviously, for those that don't know, she's basically your blanket board effect negator, as well as being able to buff up the attack and defense. Because I guess if you guys don't know about the effects, I suggest to look at the profile that I did on this before. So yeah, we're still playing 2 Witchcrafter Heine. To be able to just target pop is just too good. Still nice to have. The one Idel, being able to just special summon is just nice to access. You could play this at 2, but I generally just prefer to just have the 1 copy, which works perfectly fine. The best, I think, of the lower level 4 lowers is Witchcrafter Smieta, allowing you to just engrave, you know, tribute special, or as with all the others, tribute and special summon from deck. But then the graveyard to be able to just dump a Witchcrafter spell is just too good. We have triple Witchcrafter Pitole. Being able to just like banish, draw, and discard, or most cases and most times if not, is just able to help fix out the hand if need be on certain situations. And last but not least, we do play triple Witchcrafter Pottery, simply because as you can probably see from the monster lineup, you only have access to 9 cards in your deck, which allows you to basically start off your plays. So I do recommend maxing out on the lower level ones, just so you can turbo out the higher level ones. Pottery, if you have no cards in hand, you banish it to then add back a Witchcrafter card from your Witchcrafter card from your graveyard to hand. So it's very nice in certain situations, but I generally would, if you want to drop any of the 3, I would recommend Pottery to 2 for something else that you want in the deck. Okay, onto the spells. We are playing the triple Witchcrafter creation. Being able to search your Witchcrafter monsters, must have at 3. I play 2 Witchcrafter by Street. This is your protection card, so More times than enough, you do want to see this. You do want to have this on your field with your Madame Ver, giving you that extra protection, and then giving you that option to send it to grave for her effect, or any of the Witchcrafter monsters' effect. So it must have at least 2, I would recommend. 2, Holiday, allowing you to revive from your grave, just in some situations is just nice to have. You could play this at 1, but I just generally feel like if you do have access to this, and if you get like ashed, like during when you try to tribute, you can then just revive, and then during your opponent's turn, then use the effect of the monster to special summon. But yeah, Witchcrafter Holiday is nice to have it too. For all the other ones, collaboration allowing to a double attack is just nice to have. Draping and 1 draping for the back row bounce is just also nice to have as well. I've dropped the scroll because most times, more than enough, I generally didn't feel the need to actually search scroll. Or discard it, or then get much plus from it. So if you do want to bump up on these ratios of the Witchcrafter spells, the other one-offs or even Buy Street is definitely heavily recommended. For the other spells, generic spells, we have the triple Foolish Barrel Goods. Obviously, being able to just dump whichever Witchcrafter spell you want to the grave, and then end phase add it back to your hand is just too good. We have the triple Call by the Grave. Obviously, if you get ashed more times than enough, it would stop your play, because your Witchcrafter lower levels do tribute as costs, and you discard as cost, and then they ash you, then you got not much on follow-up play on that. So Call by the Grave is very important on that. The one reasoning, because all your Witchcrafter monsters are different levels, but with the inclusion of the Witchcrafter Golem, you basically now have more level 8s, but more times than enough, you just want to mill a fair amount of your spells to grave, and then cycle on that. We have the 1 Metaphors Fusion, just all out is great, really, because it's not a dead card in your hand. You discard it, shuffle back in. Even if you do draw it back again, you can, if you have your level 4 lower ones, or all your Witchcrafters that discard do trigger in your opponent's turn, so you just discard it again, and it's not really much of a dead card in that regards and sense. We have the triple Village of the Secret Village and the one Terraforming. You can try and play Metaverse simply because more times than enough, if you can open up with Secret Village, Madame Ver, and the Buy Street, you're in a very good position unless they kaiju you. Simply because, being able to lock out the spells, and then if they try to use the monster effects, just negate them on that part. And if they try to attack Madame Ver, you can just bump her defense up from basically anything plus of 2,800 or higher. So yeah, it's just generally good to have and to access on that. And last but not least, if you do have the money for it, I do recommend playing triple Part of Extravagance. I've only got the 1 copy. If you don't have Part of Extravagance, I would recommend playing stuff like Double Summon, simply because you want to extend if you do get negated. Simply, more times than enough that you might find in yourself a situation, you might try and make a play, it gets negated, then you're pretty much out of options unless you use something like a Double Summon or a different dimension reincarnation. It's allowing you to grab back your level 4 lower monsters to then use their effects to then turbo out the bigger beat sticks or the bigger monsters. But yes, Part of Extravagance is very powerful in this deck. You don't have any other draw cards in the deck. You don't need an extra deck for this deck. And yeah, that's pretty much on the main deck. And as for the extra deck, it can be just 15 cards of anything you really want. As I mentioned, if I'm playing this sort of build, your extra deck can be your sort of super poly targets. If you're going to side in super poly, you can also go for the generic links like the nightmares. But anything you really want on that part is all good to go. So that is it for the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, happy dueling!